So we're slick and professional tonight, everybody. 2 minutes late! God! Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll go ahead and do the announcements off the top. Get that out of the way, because that's the boring part. Nobody wants to hear that. But it's really what keeps us afloat. So I appreciate everybody listening to it. We'll start off with, we're DadBodDnd. We're playing, this is session 12, I believe, of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. And we are currently into chapter 3 at the moment, which is awesome. This one's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of roleplay. But you can really find us anywhere. DadBodDnd is. I can't say that anymore because every Thursday we don't do the podcast. It's been canceled the last 3 times. But we do a podcast where we talk about a bunch of D&D stuff, and we do a bunch of one-shots. So if you are interested in playing in our one-shots, go ahead and down below is a Discord link. Go ahead and click it and just say, hey, I'm here for one-shot. And we'll get you all set up and on the calendar. So from there, we're down below. If you're down there too, you need some new dice. We are sponsored by Skull Splitter. And just go ahead and click the Skull Splitter icon and use the promo code DadBod and get yourself 10% off a set of dice. Anything else? Anybody have anything
What a
else?
steal!
Do you want to maybe hype some of the one shots we got in the pipe?
In the pipe hole, yeah. So I believe, let me pull up our calendar if anybody has that available really quick. Yep, so June 10th is going to be our next one shot, hosted by our very own Stonefly_KY.
It's going to be the first time that I have DM'd, and that was not nice, Bob. Have you heard me go on my rant about Stonefly KY? That's rude. Anyways.
So
I've not heard this.
We don't want to start it, Travis. Don't chime in for that. So we did just complete a Kenku cast one shot with Cyanite at Cyanite on Twitter. It was so much fun. We just had a ton of fun. So Kylie's is on June 10th. We have another one on the 15th, which will be our very own Devin.
July 15th.
July 15th, thank you. The Lost Library of Qualish. Sounds right. And then we have one from Two Socks, Christopher, on the 31st of July, which is a high seas adventure. So if you're interested in, I don't know, being on the open water with Two Socks, go ahead and join. Just click down below and say, hey, we're here to play. And then we have a bunch more scheduled.
Yeah, I just picked up Saltmarsh, so we're going to work with that book and throw some stuff at you from there. See how that goes.
So if you're interested, just tell us you're there and you want to play a one-shot with us. We have a bunch more in the pipe. I've been gathering a bunch of interesting one-shots that people have played and liked, so we'll have some kind of ready to go. We did just have a giveaway, which is over, unfortunately. Somebody I'm going to draw out tonight won a Stranger Things Dungeons and Dragons box set, which is pretty amazing. But it's over, so it doesn't even matter to you guys. All right, well,
And of course, the deal was that they have to share the one shot with me. So.
Yeah, Devin has to play, or they just have to scan it and make it into a PDF.
Yes.
Whatever. Okay. Anything else? Anybody have anything else?
Wait till we play some D&D.
What do you say we play some Dungeons and Dragons? Actually, I should do something else. We should promote our other streamers in here. Right? Don't you think? I think we should.
That sounds solid.
That's fair. So, Stonefly Kai over here, she has her own Twitch channel where she's been streaming a lot of her art, a lot of her Magic the Gathering, MTG Arena. So if you're interested in that, go follow her at Twitter. At Twitch. Travis streams sometimes. He has been irregular, but he has been streaming Super Metroid, which is also really great.
I beat that, though.
You did beat it. I'm very sad that I didn't get to see you beat the whole thing because I love it.
Next up is Earthbound, but probably going to start that like next week. But
that's a high-quality game to watch on.
Yes, and so it's Blue Viper 85 over at Twitch, so go check them out, and all right, we're done. Right? No more announcements? No more? No more. No more? Brittany, do you have an announcement? You want to say something?
No announcements from me.
Okay. Okay. All right, so Let's play some D&D. So you guys met a new friend, Alesta.
Alesta, yep, you got it.
Sorry. Alesta, and she was here to investigate the murders or the fireball that went off, unknown, and stumbled upon a Templeton who was sitting out on the front stoop, maybe reeling from the events of the night before where you guys decided to chop up the Zentarum bodies and throw them into the sewer. It's a great place. And so after a little bit of conversation, you did find out another clue that Alesta did have, which was the puppet was actually from a temple. And so you guys traveled to the temple. You found out that the puppet was living there, and it couldn't talk, but it could understand you, and it created a sign language. Valletta, thank you, could understand. So Valletta was translating for you, and the Nimblewright gave you a tool that Travis seemed to have figured out at one point. To an extent.
Did we though?
Figured out how to turn it on, you just didn't get anything different out of the use of it. You came back to your house to find that the psychic was in it. You quickly shooed her away, and she touched Valerian's arm, and he had another vision of a spell and how to use it. And then as she was walking out, Makani decided to cast Detect Good and Evil, and she pinged as either an abyssal, fae, celestial, devil, demon, whatever it may be. She pinged off of that, and she could also see the mark that was left on Valerian's wrist. And she was heading out to talk to Jackson. So anything else I missed? Anybody have anything else they would like to bring up that was of
If
importance?
I remember correctly, Jax, Templeton, and Alesta are all inside currently the psychic's little wagon, traveling wagon, right?
I think you were heading out and back in because it was empty. You were heading out, but you're close to the wagon, I would say.
Okay, all right.
And you could see her exiting as you guys were heading back to your house.
I too found a necklace that was kind of half buried in the, I almost said sand, but it's snow.
It's
It
good.
was buried in the snow. It has a couple of pearls on it, and a couple are missing. So
Got himself a
Nobody
pearl
knows.
necklace.
she wore a pearl necklace.
Stop.
Sorry,
Playing D&D.
that's sorry.
All right, so as the psychic is leaving the house, she was yelling to you, "Oh, hello, Jackson. How are you?"
Hello. I had a question for you about this tool that was given that was supposed to help us find these Nimblewrights. Do you have any idea how this works?
That tools are not my specialty. I do not, but I can tell that you will find what you are looking for. And while this is all happening, I would like to ask Makani, what are you doing now that you saw she is pinging on your Detect Good and Evil?
So, if I remember right, it doesn't tell me if she's good or evil. It just tells me if she's like a certain type of creature.
Yes, correct. Which is kind of silly, and they need to change the name of the spell, Detect Good and Evil, to...
I'm gonna stay with Valerian.
Okay. All right, so back to Jackson. Is there anything I could help you with?
What did she say right before that?
That you would find what you're looking for?
Gotcha. No, I don't know that I needed help. I was hoping you could help us out with this, but I guess we'll eventually figure it out. That's good enough.
Are Alesta and Templeton, like, in this conversation? Like, are we near enough to... Okay. So yes. Well, the reason that we thought that perhaps you could help us with this is because we detect that there's some sort of divination magic associated with this item.
Oh, yes. I can sense that too, but the mechanics of how this works, it is lost on me.
Well, that was very helpful. Thank you.
Like, well, Templeton's got nothing to say.
Oh, yes. I sometimes I can be helpful. Sometimes I cannot be. I apologize. We all work in our own ways.
So if you're some type of psychic, can you direct us to where we should go? North, south, east, west, up, down?
Where's the fun in that? Why would I want to direct you where to go? Then you can't figure it out on your own.
You were our lead. You're the only lead that we have, unless you have some other clue that could help us. Some perhaps piece of paper that's like, oh, this is a mysterious piece of paper. That's like, oh, go here next.
Maybe she could tell your fortune over like the next 2 days. She was able to tell me where I'll be in 5 years. I'm going to be very rich, and I'm going to still be here in our house. She said the first one's free, that's what you said, right?
Yes, that's correct.
If you think that it will help, then sure. Tell my fortune. If you have the time, ma'am.
Oh, I always have the time for you. And she takes your hand and walks you to the little caravan that is parked in the center of the alley, and closes the door. So it's just you and the psychic in there. What is we'll pause right there real quick. What is Valerian and Makani doing?
Kani, you are muted.
Valerian, I was hitting the wrong key.
Shoot, this damn push to talk, it sucks. Let's go ahead.
Valerian, I may have looked at the injuries on your wrists, and Willie did, the psychic, is not of this world.
What does that mean? Like she is like
She
Lith?
could be like Fae.
I don't know what Fae means, but not like a human.
No, she's not a human.
No.
And I'm not sure if we can trust her with our friends or if we just see what she's doing.
Yes, I don't like anything that she's doing. She keeps touching me and weird things happen in my head. I am uncomfortable and I need an adult. What do we need to go do? Do you think maybe she was the one who did the fireball, or like that kind of person, or just...
Oh, I didn't think about her doing the fireball.
Okay.
I have no idea. She just is not like us. That's all I know.
Well, not many. I don't know if you know this, but not many people like me. But that's, it's what I live with. Oh, did anything, when you looked at my arms, did anything come up? Like anything bad?
Valerian, it just means that maybe this is maybe going to get worse for you in the future if you don't figure out what caused it. Or,
like,
you know.
It's going to spread up my arm? Or
maybe, I don't know.
Shit, okay. Yes, it is definitely not something that I am proud of or I am happy about. But it is what I am suffering with, and I do want to talk to you about it. I'm not trying to avoid the situation. I am worried a little bit about the people outside, especially if she's ringing bad.
I mean, she could be good or she could be bad, but she's definitely not of this world. So you're right, we should go help them.
And as you see that, you guys look outside and you see Alesta and the psychic. You guys see Alesta and the psychic walking into her caravan.
Oh, yeah. And just her. We see the other Templeton and Jax staying outside.
Yeah, what are you guys doing, Templeton and Jackson?
We should go help our friends for sure.
Yeah, I think I would just wait outside and wait for Alesta to come out. I might say something to Jax like, I really hope that she's able to help. She's real helpful. She seems really nice.
I hope she can help too. She's been right about a lot of things, so hopefully she'll be at least helpful in some way. I really want to figure out how this thing works. I was gonna like bang on the little wand thing. Gotta remember what the name of it was.
Okay,
Just like, hit it with my the right where the wrist and the palm of your hand start. I feel like there's a name for that I can't remember. Kind of like if you're trying to get like the flashlight to work when the batteries are low or something.
Yeah.
Like this.
Okay,
With,
I gotcha.
Yeah. He's gonna Fonz it.
All right. Yeah, nothing happens.
Hey.
Damn thing.
All right, so Makani and Valerian, you two are walking out. And...
Yes, we will head out and move towards the psychic.
I mean, bright though, Valerian. At least our friends didn't go back in there.
Maybe they have learned their lesson. They don't like what she has to say.
Do you really think Templeton learned his lesson?
Well, to be honest, he's been acting up lately, so he needs to learn a lesson. So we will see, and we'll keep heading that way.
Okay, so we'll go to Alesta and the psychic. So what is it that you seek?
The next step, literally directions for like the next 12 hours, maybe.
This might be a little too exact for my skill power. But the next step. And she sits back into her chair, and as you look into this room, so it's draped with curtains all the way around, and in there is just 2 seats and a table, and the table is draped in the same color linen, and it's a dark like purple. And she sits back into the chair and goes, yes, the next step. The next step, you will find not what you're looking for, but kind of the type of what you're looking for.
So, okay, so you're one of those types of psychics. Okay, that's good.
This is the only type there is. We all went to school together.
With psychic school?
Psychic school.
Same alma mater.
Led by Miss Cleo.
I was just gonna say, I bet she knows Miss Cleo.
The cards don't lie.
Cards don't lie.
Special guest appearance from Raven Simone.
Sweet.
Wow.
As you say that, she's like, the rest is for you to figure out. What fun would it be if I told you your whole life?
That would not be fun, though that is not what I seek most of the time. I hope that the next 12 hours are not my whole life.
And she looks at you and goes, you seek redemption, yes? You will find it.
How do you know that?
How don't I know that? I told you, I know many things.
So I will find the redemption that I seek, and you have no next step, and the next 12 hours are the rest of my life, is what I'm picking up from this. Does that sound about right?
No. That does not. In the next 5 years, you will find what you seek for the redemption. In the next 12 hours, you will find not what you are seeking, but what you were looking for.
Can I get this in writing? I'm really more of a visual learner.
I have bits
Okay.
of pen. And
Okay, well,
what is Valerian and Templeton, Jackson, and Makani doing?
I guess as we are approaching, I would look at both Jackson, Templeton, and say, what are you doing letting Alesta in there all by herself? You're not going in with her.
They kind of walked in and shut the door behind them. We didn't have a whole lot of choice, and I'm still trying to figure out how this thing.
We all went in alone. That's how she does it.
That's how she does it. Templeton, you're still believing in this this mumbo jumbo?
I'm certainly a believer.
I do. And I think Templeton's kind of just staring at Val. Like letting the silence kind of...
Yeah, every now and then my eyes will kind of make it up to meet your eye line, but then quickly it comes back down. I'm like looking at your kneecaps mostly.
just staring at my dick.
There's my dick. Well, we need to kind of end this session and get back into the house. We have some things that we need to talk about.
We'll be there when she's done.
And, well, we hope so that she will come out of there alive and breathing.
We all did last time, so I don't have any reason to think she won't.
Makani, do you want to maybe back me up a little bit here?
I mean, I don't really care that she's in there.
Well, this is just great, I guess. Okay.
I'm glad that our other friends aren't in there, so let's go back in the house. If she survives, she'll come in.
Well,
I'm waiting for my friend.
Templeton, you've known her for like 6 hours. She's already your friend.
She has been nice to me.
Templeton, you say that like these other people around you have not been nice to you.
I think it's just silence. I think he just continues staring at you.
In all this silence, I keep imagining like a clunk clunk, tink tink, like interrupting the silence from Jax.
Smacking the thing.
Yeah, trying to just moving it around, trying to see if I can get this thing to work. Yep.
Jax is Gwildor, the keymaster.
And while I'm doing that, I will just say, well,
I've kept you safe.
Okay, well, when you guys are done with your little party out here, we need to have a serious talk inside. That's where I will be. And I'm gonna head inside.
Would like it to be known that although I'm not always nice, I have saved all of you. So I'm going back inside too.
Okay, so as you all, well, I guess Templeton, if you're hanging out outside, Jackson.
Yeah, I'm waiting outside.
Jackson, are you waiting or are you going in?
no, I'll go. Yeah, I'm gonna go in.
Okay, so Templeton's the only one waiting. So we'll go back into Alesta and Psychic. So what do you want to say to this?
I'm going to stand up and I'm going to be like, well, thank you for the non-information. That is somewhat information. It's information of some sort, I guess. I suppose it's information, I guess. So, unless there's anything else, I think I'll just be going now to try to find the next step. Sort of like a linear kind of like story progression kind of thing. But, yeah, so,
Oh, well, you're very welcome, and I will...
Okay, I understand why the first one is free now. And I'm just gonna... And Alesta just leaves.
Okay. Yeah, and she just stays in there, so you walk out, and Templeton's there waiting for you.
Oh, thank you for waiting for me, Templeton. I appreciate it.
He just gives you a smile.
Where
Everybody
is-
else...
Oh.
Everybody else went back to the house.
All right.
But I thought I'd wait and make sure. I thought I'd just wait.
Well, thank you, Templeton. That's very kind. I really have to say, Templeton, I didn't know if you're the type of person who, when you get compliments in front of people, it's embarrassing or whatever. But you have been very kind to me, and you've been very, very helpful, and I really appreciate it.
I don't get compliments that often, but thank you. And he gives you a big, ugly smile.
I bet it's cute. But Alesta is like, well, we'll just have to change that. Shall we go inside?
Yeah, let's go. What time of day is it? I can't even remember.
Early afternoon, like 1-ish.
Okay.
So...
All right. We'll go back to the house.
Yeah, so as everybody kind of enters the house, Valerian, Makani, Jackson, what are you doing before they walk in?
I sit down at the bar with Liv.
Jackson, where are you heading?
I am going to be walking around the house with the switch on this thing held down, working my way upward to see if I notice any change. Just trying to figure out if there's any difference at all with the way this thing spins or acts.
Okay.
Trying to get a cell signal.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll take a seat at the bar with Makani and just kind of sit and wait.
Okay. So
I have
Jackson,
a question about Liv.
yeah,
Does
go
he
ahead.
forever just like clean the same, polish the same glass? Is that what he's doing? He's forever polishing the same glass.
He is tidying up, and it is in a perpetual state of cleanliness. It's not that he's polishing; he's just very clean.
Liv, do you get bored in here? All right. Sometimes I'm a little pissy too, Liv. It's fine.
There's no response. All right, so Jackson, as you head upstairs with the thingamabob that's in your hand, there is no change as you make it all the way up to the 4th floor.
How does this thing work? I'm just gonna kind of huff my way back downstairs a little bit.
Okay, so Templeton, Makani, you guys entree. Or Templeton and Alesta. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, I suppose we just walk straight to the house, yeah?
Okay. Anything else you guys would like to do?
If they come in, I want to maybe turn a swivel in my bar stool and look at them and say, Alesta, what did you find out? Curious minds, they want to know.
I found out that the next 12 hours there is information but no information, but we'll find what we seek, but it won't be what we think we seek. And then pretty much nothing else. So it was not the wellspring of information I was hoping for.
Looks like you and I are in the same boat. I did not get anything from her. It seems like Templeton is the only one that has gotten any good news from her. But
Alesta, I think I'm going to go lay down upstairs. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, sounds good, Templeton. Get to rest.
Okay, so Templeton, as you walk upstairs, you walk into yours and Valerian's room. You see a bag sitting on the bed.
What does it look like? Like when you say bag, like velvet, like
It's like
canvas, Crown Royal bag.
No, it's like a burlap sack. Smaller though. It's like big.
Where is it in the room? Is it on
Directly
is it
on
on
his
Val's bed?
Yep.
It's on Val's bed.
Yes.
I want to go look inside.
Okay, so as you look inside, you see eyeballs, oddly enough. And they look different than a normal eyeball. And the burlap is not wet on the outside. So as you reach in, and if you want to, I mean, I don't want to make that.
Okay, hang on. I'm not just reaching in just yet. When you say eyeballs, you mean like they look like fleshy eyeballs, not something carved like an eyeball or...
Kind of. They have the same shape and the same like detail as an eyeball, but they are not like squishy, fleshy eyeballs.
Do they look like human eyes, or
No, they're
do
smaller, much smaller.
Okay. Is there anything like? Do they look like cat's eyes, or are they the normal like color, iris and pupil?
Yes, it does have color to it, to an extent, but they're very small, so they're probably yay big, bigger than a pea.
Like a marble.
Yeah, marble size is perfect. But they are yellow tops and bottoms, black pupil.
Yellow tops, bottoms, black pupil. Okay. I'm gonna look behind me at the door. And then I'm gonna go close it. And then I'll go back to the bag, and I want to pick one up.
Okay, so as you pick it up, it looks like a rock. It's very hard like a rock, It feels like a rock, but I guess it looks like an eyeball. It feels like a rock. It is hard like a rock. Meant for tough. But it looks like an eyeball, but it's very hard, dense, like a rock.
I'm sorry, what is it like? I think I missed.
Maybe like a rock.
What is?
Okay. And nothing happens when I pick it up. I'll put it back in the bag and put it back on the bed where it was. And I'm going to lay in the bed.
I love it. Okay. You gonna like take a nap or just hang out there for a couple minutes?
I think I'm probably just kind of laying there.
Okay.
I might... Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm just laying there.
All right, so we'll go back downstairs. What are you guys doing?
Well, now that we have the adults here and we can talk about things and not be interrupted. Well, Jackson and Alesta, what kind of happened?
Well, it seems like Templeton should be here for this conversation.
He needs to, if I know Templeton, he needs to have a little bit of time to himself where he can stick to his drawings and just kind of relax a little bit.
But surely we can wait until Templeton has relaxed a little bit before we move forward. After all, the more brains that we have together, the more...
Well, you are using this word brains, and you've had conversations with him.
A friend. You are friends, correct?
That is correct. We are best friends, but
I don't think that's true. Because if you were like an actual best friend, you probably wouldn't talk about him in such a way. That's very demeaning. You talk about him like he's a dog.
Sometimes the role of a friend is to let you know kind of where you sit and let you know what you are. It is not always to inflate you and make you something you are not.
And exactly what is he then, in your eyes?
He is the muscle that keeps me walking upright. He is the shield that takes the arrow when we are in maybe some sticky situations.
So you're saying that he's integral to your survival, and yet you do not build him up. Instead, you let him know where he sits.
Yes, he needs to have his feet on the ground. I mean, it is people like this psychic across the street that are filling his head full of these... Templeton is not going to be a rich man. That woman over there told him he was going to be rich. That is not going to happen. He has no use or no need for money in many ways. He is a lot like you, I guess, where this money is not needed.
I'm not a fortune teller, Val, but let me look into your past and tell me if I'm getting close. You have lived your life trying to keep everybody at arm's length because vulnerability is scary. And you come across somebody who is unfailingly loyal, and you have no idea how to interact with him in the way that a friend should. So instead of actually treating him with the respect that a person, ignore the human being, that's Brittany, that a person actually deserves, instead you demean him because you are afraid that one day he won't be there. And so by keeping him low, you don't have to worry about that vulnerability being crossed in any capacity. Am I right? Am I roughly right, Val?
You are kind of right, but that demeaning only comes out when he is... People like you, people like the psychic are filling his head, and he is thinking that he has more agency than he should have. Again, he cannot survive in this world without being told what to do. And he needs to be told what to do so that he keeps his feet on the ground and he keeps his heading in the right direction, not these, he does not need his heads in the clouds. And that's what I try to do. And if I have to maybe keep him down just a little bit, but that I have to say this at the same time, it is not all just me saying what you deem as bad things to him. He gets a lot of rewards for doing the things that he does.
So you tell him to sit, and he sits, and you give him a treat, and you're saying that, yes, he's a friend. You're talking about him like he's some sort of slave. Tell me, what was he doing before you?
Before me? This is a good question. He was sitting on a street corner crying in his hands.
Well, we all have days like that. Sometimes that's just how it be. But, so you're saying that he lived right up until that point with, like, on his own, that he survived and lived his life before you, right?
Yes, and at that point he had absolutely nobody, and it was not until I came along and gave him a piece of candy and let him play with my ferret and let him come along with me. He had absolutely nothing, and my ferret I have a weasel that is upstairs. It's not...
All right, yes, okay, thank you for that clarification.
So I do not need to hear this sad song about how mistreated Templeton is. He has a roof over his head. He has clothes on his back. He has food in his belly because of me. He was sitting on a street corner with absolutely nothing before I came along. Now, yes, he does scratch my back a little bit and keeps me alive, and I appreciate him for that. But at the same time, he has to be tethered to the ground, and this is not... It is not happening of late as we started this party around me gets bigger and bigger.
I have known you for perhaps, what time is it? I have known you for perhaps 5 hours, we'll say. And I can tell you that this attitude that you have is not going over well. So I would encourage you to really examine exactly how important Templeton is and how willing you are to change your perspective on him if you want to keep him around. He does have worth. And he doesn't need you defining that worth for him.
He is, at the same time, he is able to do whatever he wants to do. And he can leave at any time and break this friendship from me. He is not a slave. He is not being shackled at my hip. He is able to roam around and move around, and he can leave. But you do not know Templeton like I know Templeton. He needs me more than anything else because he cannot survive. He was sitting on... I am not joking when I say that he was sitting on a street corner, crying into his hands the first time that I met him because he had absolutely nobody, and people were spitting on him and throwing things at him and making fun of him.
Val, it is very kind for you to pick somebody up when they are like that and to build them back up. That is a very kind thing. And then going right back to this sort of lack of trust and being vulnerable to someone, you say that he could leave and he could break this friendship. If he leaves because of your behaviors and because of the way that you treat him, he did not break this friendship, you did. That's very basic. So take that into consideration, I think. And
it is duly noted, and I will mark it down in my journal that I need to be nice to everybody so that this world is filled with kindness. But I don't know about you, Alesta, but people, it is not a kind world out there. So sometimes you have to be slapped in the face a little bit and be kind of shaken a little bit and told that this is not all pretty out there, because it is not. And Templeton is the kind of person, if he walks around thinking everybody is his best friend, he's going to get slapped in the face, and it is going to hurt him more than I am.
So then why should you slap him in the face? If the world is cruel, which I agree, it is. I'm under no illusion that this is a nice world. But if the world is so awful to your friend, why not be a little bit more kind to him and give him a little more kindness? And you're right, I may not know Templeton, but I do know that this sort of God complex, I raised him, he's where he is because of me. I'm not good at impressions, you don't need to be smirking like that, I know. But he's never been anybody before me or whatever. I know people with this sort of God complex, so I may not know Templeton and I may not know you, but I do know the way that people operate, and I do know that if you continue doing this, eventually Templeton is going to recognize that he deserves better. And yes, perhaps he will go back to crying on a street corner, and perhaps he will break down and be upset. And that happens sometimes. And why would you want to put him in a situation where he feels like he needs to leave? I would really encourage you to consider exactly how much you are willing to put your friendship with him on the line.
Val's kind of...
Go ahead.
Val's kind of... Yeah, he's kind of at a loss here. Because most of this talk about Templeton is behind closed doors. And yeah, he's maybe revealed a little too much, so he's kind of at a loss and maybe not staring down at his hands. He's not as intimidated of you as he is of Templeton, so he is kind of maybe staring eyes a little bit, but he kind of starts to crawl inside a little bit and stops talking.
And I did not say this to you, Val, because I want to hurt you or because I want to disparage your character. Again, like I want to say, it is very kind of you to take someone in when they are in that place. I think that perhaps you should consider what you're going to do next. Instead, you've picked him back up, now build him up too, the way that the friend should. And I will leave you to mull that over. I'm going to go see if Templeton is finished with his rest. If he's finished with his rest, then we can continue this conversation. And she goes upstairs.
Okay. Makani, Jackson, is there anything you would like to add?
I never turned around in my chair. I just back to them, listened to the conversation, and in the middle of it was like, Cliff, load me up with a drink, and that's all.
Okay.
I imagine I was walking back downstairs while all that was starting, and I just kind of stopped. Not quite at the in the room, but at the bottom of the stairs, and just kind of sat and listened and kind of stayed the hell out of it.
Okay. And then as Alesta's coming upstairs, she catches you right on the...
And I nod and I'm like, Jax?
I cannot get this thing to work.
Have you tried checking the batteries?
I haven't seen any place for batteries in here.
I have no idea. I wish that we had asked how it worked before he left.
Well,
I mean, I suppose we could go back and be like, hey, how do you actually work this thing?
Yeah, we were kind of rushed out of there, so maybe we can go back tomorrow or something, but it didn't seem like a good time with all those guards walking in.
That's true. Well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. You seem good with that stuff.
I like to think I am.
Okay. Yeah, yes,
Thank
it
you.
certainly seems that way. Okay. Well, bye, and continue walking up the stairs.
Have a good night.
Okay,
Wait, where are you going? You don't have a room here yet.
That's what I was just thinking. She doesn't live here yet.
And so Alesta pauses, and she's like, I have no fucking idea where Templeton is right now. And so she turns back around and she's like, I was making a dramatic exit, and I did not stop to consider that I did not know where I was going next. That is on me. I will be completely honest. Where is Templeton's room?
Here, I can show you, and I will get up and walk her over to there, and I'll just kind of point out the other rooms along the way.
Perfect.
A sort of mini house tour, if you will.
okay. And so downstairs, Valerian, are you...
Yeah, it's just Makani and I say, Jesus Christ, what is happening? I am surrounded by lunacy. I just wanted to talk about the evil woman that is parked outside our house, and I get ripped a new asshole. This is not good. Makani, you have been so quiet today.
I think she's going to be here very long, so we could just let her go, and then maybe things will go back to normal.
Well, I think that is a best case scenario, but I have a weird suspicion that she is going to hold up here for a while. But we need to. I will say this right now to you, that I will back off of Templeton. But at the same time, we need to stop. I am serious. We cannot fill his head with these things. We need to stop. But I will back off a little bit so that we are a functional unit within this house.
I mean, backing off a little probably is a good idea, but I agree. Templeton needs protection.
I agree, and sometimes that protection comes in many ways. And but like I said, I will try to back off a little bit, but we'll be fine. Templeton and I have been through worse things than this. This is just a bump in the road. He will be fine. He'll make a new drawing. He'll show me. He'll be excited. I will pat him on the back, give him a piece of candy, and all is well. It will be fine. But I am more worried about these evil people we have parked outside our house. These little puppets that are running around throwing fireballs. And then at that point, I'll take out that necklace. I found this necklace out in the street. It looks like there are pieces of it missing. People are just dropping jewelry wherever.
Is there anything, Temple or Val? Do you think somebody just dropped the necklace when they were hit with a fireball?
No, I have no idea. Was it in the charm area or outside of it?
It was outside.
I imagine it was outside because it's kind of buried in the snow.
Yep. Yeah, I can show
This
you
way.
exactly where it was.
It was not in the circle of fire, but it was next to. It was kind of sticking out of the snow just a little bit. I mean, it looks like a pretty piece of jewelry. I don't know who would just leave this. It does not make sense to me.
I don't know. I don't know any answers to this.
Okay, I will take it and I'll put it back in my pocket. Okay.
I mean, if you need someone to hold it on to it for you, I certainly can hold on to it for you.
No, I will pawn this later and get some gold for it. But it's alarming that these things are happening outside of our street. And I just wanted to talk as a group and figure out what to do. And apparently, it was therapy session between me and Templeton.
Apparently. Maybe you should ask Lit for a drink.
That is, it is midday, and I think that is a good idea. But honestly, what are we going to do?
Are we...
Sorry, I'm murdering gummy bears over here, and they're delicious.
All right, so we'll go back upstairs real quick. You're on mute, Kylie.
Do we have any direction of what we're doing at all?
Nope.
I suppose
you're trying to find a puppet, and you're waiting for Mert.
Well, I suppose we wait for Mert. Maybe Mert will have some answers for us, and Mert's not going to find us if we're out and about. So we make some dinner and we have some drinks.
We could take a moment to metagame this and actually talk strategy, like as players for a second.
That was my strategy as a player.
Well, I wonder if the bag of marbles has any sort of clue.
It may be.
Perhaps that's a clue, or perhaps it's a bag of marbles.
We'll find out.
Okay, so we'll go back to Alesta walking into Templeton lying on a bed. The bed. The only bed in this room.
She knocks very politely. Like, knock, knock, and waits. She doesn't just walk in. Like a heathen. She's a polite girl.
You hear Templeton say, "Come in."
And then she goes in.
And as you come in, he's got his crayons out and he's drawn a picture. And I think he's drawn a picture of the puppet or the construct that we saw inside the temple. And he'll say, hey.
I'm sorry, I was totally distracted right now. Hi, Templeton. I wanted to come check in on you, and also we were about to talk strategy about what we're going to do next, since we don't really have that much direction. Are you feeling well? Would you like to come down, or
Yeah, I can come. I drew a picture. Do you want to see it?
I would love to see it.
And he'll show you the picture. It's like a stick figure robot looking thing. This is the machine that we saw in the temple, the one that made the other machine that threw the fireball.
Oh, that's very interesting. Is there anything in the drawing that, I mean, Alesta didn't see that, right? Or am I? Sorry,
You were in there with us.
Okay. Never mind about that then. Oh, I can certainly see the resemblance. That is good. Do you draw
Thanks.
a lot, Templeton?
I like drawing. I like color. And he'll show you his fingernails. He paints his fingernails with whatever paint he can find. I like color, and I draw I draw a lot. It's like my favorite thing in the world.
Well, that's wonderful. I think that it's important to be able to express oneself in that way.
You can keep it if you want.
I would love to. Thank you, Templeton. Is it okay if I fold it, or would that ruin the artwork?
No, you can fold it. I usually fold them up and keep them. And I on the dresser, I think there's maybe like a little bag or box or something that I keep all my drawings in, and it's just like stuffed and overfilled with whatever I've drawn.
This is so cute. I'm living for this right now. Well, thank you, Templeton. I'll go ahead and I will put it right here. And I put it between the, oh my god, I forget the term, but like the Under Armour and like the breastplate. I'll keep it right here, and then when we inevitably encounter danger, I will know that you are nearby.
Okay. You said we have to go downstairs?
Yes, I think we should. Yes. And then is the bag like noticeable, or like would Alesta be like, what is in that bag? Never having seen the room before, or
no, it's just a bag sitting on a bed. It's not like
Yeah.
brightly colored. Templeton would have noticed it by living in the room, but if you weren't there,
Hey, do you want to see something?
I would love to.
I'll pick up the bag and kind of like hold it out to her and say, I don't know where these came from. They're not Val's. He wouldn't care about rocks like this. I don't know where these came from. They were just here.
That's
Maybe
very
it was Liv. I don't know. But they look like eyeballs, and I'll hold one up and like hold it where my eye is, like Google eye it a little bit.
They do kind of look like eyeballs. They were just here? They weren't here this morning?
No, they just appeared, or someone left them. Hey, wasn't the psychic in our house?
Yeah, I believe the psychic was in your house. So
Maybe she saw the person who did it.
And Alesta stares into halfway space for a little bit. And she's like, perhaps she does, or perhaps she even left them.
Maybe she left me a present. That's nice of her.
Well, Templeton, I have to say, I think you may have just potentially found a clue. Perhaps we should go run this by everybody else and see what's going on.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready to go down?
Yeah. I'll follow you downstairs.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So, Valen, Makani, Jackson, did you just post yourself in the stairway, or did you finally make your entrance back down into the main room?
Yeah, I figured that I would take Alesta to the room and then just kind of start making my way back downstairs. So I probably caught up like shortly after their conversation.
Okay.
Val.
Yeah, so everybody rejoins in the entryway. Or in the main room. Alesta, are you carrying the bag from Valerian's bed?
Yeah, unless Templeton was carrying it, because I know he pulled one out to show me. But yeah, one of us has the bag.
He did it.
Yeah, I handed it to you. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I have the bag then.
Okay. So yeah.
So
Well-
we're all in the main area now.
Yeah.
Well, it seems that Templeton has found potentially a clue. There was apparently this on the bed that was not here earlier. It looks like marbles to me, but perhaps somebody knows more about whatever these could be, or it could just be a bag of marbles. And I put them on the counter or the table or something.
This was in my room. This was Templeton. This was in our room. Devin is away for a second, but Alesta, you went in my room and this was there. This bag.
Templeton says that it was sitting on his bed when he came to lay down.
That's funny. He says his. I will say this under my voice as much as I can. That is funny that he says it is his bed. And then, well, I do not recognize this bag at all. I guess it is in my room. I would like to see it.
Well, it's right here on the table between us.
Okay, then I will reach out and grab it and look inside and see what I see.
As you do
You say
that,
this might be a clue?
as you grab the bag, Valerian, you get a vision. Nobody else can see this, and so as you grab the bag, your eyes go dark, and it's kind of illuminated around a figure in fire. So you've seen it before. You saw this figure as it was standing above your wife and child with its hand on their shoulders in your previous vision.
Was this the vision he had in the sewer? The Fears vision?
No, this is one he had when he looked into the fire.
Oh, okay.
And it's just him this time.
So no wife, no other.
Nothing said.
But I. Oh shit! I will. As I look in there, I imagine maybe I see it within. I open up the bag and look in, and the vision is within the bag. I'll immediately start to roll it up like a lunch sack, and I don't know what you guys are thinking that this could be a clue for. There's nothing inside but little pebbles.
Honestly, at this point, I'm so starved for clues that I was hoping, but they look like pebbles too.
And everybody make a perception check. We gotta roll dice at one point in D&D, right? It's been all night.
14 for me.
11.
7.
I've got a 19.
Okay.
24.
Is that a nat 20?
Ooh. No, that was a 19 plus 5.
So, Alesta and Jax, what'd you get?
7.
Oh, you didn't hear this. Sorry. Alesta and Valerian, you hear this loud pop sound outside of your house. And you hear another one very quickly. And then you hear rushing footsteps. You could hear it. It's very, very small, very faint, but quick footsteps. And they're running from that back area by the house around the south side to the front door. And Templeton with a 14, you can hear it as they hit the very south side of the house.
Are there any windows on the south side?
No windows. It's just east and west.
I'm gonna quickly take this bag of stuff and stuff it in my bag, and just kind of look at. I imagine Alesta makes kind of a face like you hear something.
Yeah, she would like turn her head to like wherever it was and like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard that too, Alesta. Well, what do?
Well, that certainly seems suspicious. Let's
I'm
Let's go
afraid
check
of
it out.
fireball, but yes, you go ahead. I will follow right behind you.
all right, let's go. And she's off on her way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow behind. I'm
Okay.
gonna go outside and see what this is.
I'll let everybody kind of funnel in front of me, and I'll bring up the rear.
Ooh.
Ooh, the Vinny
Okay.
move.
Yeah, I mean, that's Vinny's signature. All right, so as you head outside, and
I'm going out there too.
okay, I figured. As you head outside, you see 3 robed figures that are entering from the right side of the alley, the east side, and they're coming straight up to your house. All 3 are they have daggers. Sorry, my brain is fucking not working. Wielding is the word I was searching for, but it just wasn't coming to my tongue.
They're grabbing daggers.
They're grabbing daggers. No, they have daggers in their hand. They're brandishing daggers, running towards the front of your house. And then slowly behind said daggers, or said cloaked figures, you see these little guys kind of hovering behind them.
Tiny little guys.
So let's roll initiative. How about that? I mean, that's the thing we should do tonight, right?
Him's just a little guy.
Well, they may be small, but they pack a big punch. All right, so
16 for me. Oh, sorry, 15. Sorry.
okay,
Don't fail me now.
don't fail me now.
9.
That's a
9 for Makani,
14.
14 for Valerian.
I also got 14.
Alesta.
3.
I got a rock. You're like Charlie Brown, man.
Well played.
It's not just a boulder.
All right.
It's a rock.
All right. So as you exit, you see these 3 robed figures that are brandishing daggers, and then you see 3. How many people are like familiar with, like religion? Alesta, you would be.
Yeah, that's one of my proficiencies.
Makani would be. So give me a religion check.
That would be a 21 from me. Natural 20.
5.
5. You don't know. Alesta, you have read about these before, and they live in the classification of devils, and you know them as imps. So they are sent to do the bidding of a greater devil, typically, and then seeing the cultist, you realize the symbol that they have. It is the symbol of a Phlegethos. Was that how we said it? No, you've seen the symbol. You can't place it, but it has dealt with the worship of devils.
Okay, and have they seen us? Or like, are they coming straight towards us?
Oh, yeah.
Or
They're. I mean, as you heard the pop, they came rushing around that corner, and they are in a dead sprint towards the front of your house. Well, not your house. Valerian is the homeowner, clearly. So, all right. So
Before we start the fight, could we take a quick break?
actually, yeah. Thank you, Devin. I was going to do that. So we are going to take a quick 10-minute break. We'll be back at 10:07 Central Time. Don't go anywhere. Dad jokes in the chat if you would be so kind. And as we come back,
Time to fight.
Why are there devils here? I don't know. We'll find out. Be right back.